actually staying with the Spurs, Kawhi Leonard. We talk about Kawhi Leonard during the season, and it seems as though whenever people talk about MVPs and everything, I mean, obviously this season Steph should be a unanimous MVP, but even if we were to have an MVP discussion, I don't feel as though many people would bring up Kawhi Leonard's name. And I don't know. Kawhi Leonard essentially gets the respect that other superstars such as a LeBron James, a Paul George, a Stephen Curry, a Russell Westbrook get. So, guys, do you feel as though as a superstar, Kawhi Leonard deserves more respect? Rashad, we'll start with you. What do you think?
I believe he doesn't get his respect. I mean, I I don't think he's an MVP player, but I do respect him a little more than I used to. Because when you look at him, he plays with a LaMarcus Aldridge, he plays with a Tony Parker, he plays with a Tim Duncan, he plays with a Manu Ginobili, he plays. You know what I'm saying? He's coached by Pop. So you're looking at this team like there's so many like big names there like that you just overlook somebody like Kawhi Leonard because you just have like these famous names who's on that team and it's just like that team is just like it's just like a just a famous team. So when you play for that team, you're like, well, it's easy to get overshadowed by these other players on the team, so you get overlooked for how great you actually are on the team. And a lot of people will like not try to give him his credit because he's like, well, you play for Pop system, and you have all these other players here for you, so we're not going to give you your credit. Where you look somebody like a Steph Curry or LeBron, we've seen LeBron play in so many different systems and still do the same thing he do. We've seen Steph Curry play with two different coaches and still put up the same numbers he put up. So you're just like, can is it Pop that's making Kawhi Leonard or is it Kawhi Leonard making Kawhi Leonard in a sense? You see what I'm saying? So I feel like that's why he doesn't really get respected. But I think I think he should be like in the MVP talks. I don't see why not. He's the best on his team. He's the best two-way player in the game. So I don't understand why you should not.
So, wait, so you're definitely saying he should be an MVP player? Because
No, I'm not saying MVP
I'm not
player.
sure.
I said MVP talks towards the bottom of the list of the MVP talks. I
Towards
don't.
the bottom.
So like if you have like your list of your 3 to 5 players.
Okay.
He's three or he's five. Well, he's not in three.
So,
He's
but
in
is he?
four.
So you don't think he's an MVP player,
Well,
but he's in the MVP talks.
I think he's the MVP talk. I don't think he'll. I don't think he. I don't
I
think
don't
Kawhi Leonard
understand
will
that.
in the MVP win an MVP by the end of his career. That's what I'm trying to say. He won't win an MVP award.
I think he's talking
So
about from a standpoint if you take him out of the Spurs lineup.
if you take him out the Spurs lineup, I don't think he's the same player. Honestly,
Okay. Khaled, what about you?
Mm, I feel like he don't get his credit as well. Like what you call it, Rashad was talking about. He has basically four of the big names on his team that kind of like overshadow him, and he just gets overlooked because of Tony Parker's been on the team and Tim Duncan and LaMarcus Aldridge and all these big names. And but the thing is, man, like you said, he's the best two-way player in the game. His man outstanding on defense. Probably one of the only people who really can actually try it and like what you call it match up against LeBron. So I feel like they do slight him so much because the man be balling for him and also for him to be having an off night. The man's got 18 points the other night. Like
And
that's
11
great
rebounds.
and 11 rebounds. They called that an off night. That's more than that's a
Actually,
whole
14. Sorry, Kawhi. 14 and 4 assists.
14.
Sorry for
14
signing you, bro.
and 4 assists, and I think he had
he ain't
2
watching.
blocks.
You never know. He might be.
So the man just goes off just because he don't score 25 points or 30 points a game. You shouldn't take him out the MVP talk. I mean, the man is still such a pivotal player for the Spurs organization because of his great defense and the fact that he has great offense to match. So I do think they don't give him his credit, and they definitely need to start putting that man in more MVP talks.
Do you feel as though he's an MVP player as Rashad felt? Do you feel as though the same way about him?
I feel like he can give somebody the run for their money. The only thing that
Okay, let me ask you this question: if Stephen Curry wasn't doing what he's doing right
that's what I was
now,
about to say.
yeah, would you do you think Kawhi Leonard would be one of the top or one of the high, or would he be the one leading the MVP race? What do you think about that question?
Mm, Kawhi Leonard. Uh, I think I think he'll be up there. I definitely think he'll be 1 or 2. You don't think so? But think about it. Stephen Curry. The reason why they don't give Kawhi Leonard his props because he don't score as much. So when you see Stephen Curry drop 40 points, let's see Russell Westbrook dropping 25 points, and this, that, and the third. But like, Kawhi Leonard is a big piece for his team, and it's like those 30 points that he don't get it just hurts his whole argument for him being one of the top players in the league.
30 points.
Huh?
Who's 30 points?
Kawhi Leonard, the one
he averages 30 points.
No, I said the 30 points that he don't get.
Oh, yeah. I mean, kind of. I do agree kind of with that. Like the way the media and everything portrays the league now is more of a scoring league. Now you got to be able to score the ball, unless you're LeBron James, which you can just be a facilitator and be how greater you are because your name's LeBron James. So honestly, and even the way, until it's part of the fact that he's on the San Antonio Spurs because he's way better than Jimmy Butler, but Jimmy Butler gets more name talk than Kawhi Leonard do. So if you take off like a Steph Curry or something like that, the MVP talks, you go hear somebody like, well, if he was still healthy and the team was still, competing in a nice position, you'll hear like a LeBron James, you would hear like a Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, you would hear a Jimmy Butler type player more than before you would hear Kawhi Leonard. So do I agree with that? No, because I can't stand Jimmy Butler. But you look at them kind of similar players and you're just like, well, they do kind of the same thing, but it's because one plays for pop, one doesn't.
Well, I believe that Kawhi Leonard is the man is a Finals MVP. He has a Finals MVP under his belt, and it wasn't been like an Andre Iguodala kind of Finals MVP. But we're like, well, you could have given it to Steph. You might have been able to give it to LeBron. No, Kawhi Leonard deserved the Finals MVP for that series. I mean, the man balled out. He played excellent defense on LeBron James in that Finals. Even in the Finals the year before, where they lost to LeBron with the Ray Allen shot, you could argue that he could have been the Finals MVP. They would have won that one also. But I look at it and I'm sitting here wondering. I mean, some of it does is played a part because they play in San Antonio, and I do agree the fact that because they play in San Antonio and the way the Spurs basketball scene might be boring or whatever, that he might not get as much recognition. But I think Kawhi Leonard is one of top 6 players in the league. I mean, the man doesn't even I'm looking at his player efficiency rating along with LeBron's, and while LeBron has a player efficiency rating of 26.60, Kawhi's is 25.90, and he takes less shots than LeBron and Steph. He's more efficient than LeBron, and he shoots a better 3-point percentage than Kawhi Leonard is practically leading the league in 3-point percentage at 46.7%, and he shoots 88% from the free throw line. So I'm like, this dude's on another world. Honestly, if Kawhi Leonard attempted as many shots as some of these other superstars, I'd wonder how many points he could average, because I mean he's averaging 21 points practically, 20.9, and he averages 6.8 rebounds. So, and he's arguably the best two-way player in the game, because I mean as much as people want to bring up Draymond Green's name as he could have won the Defensive Player of the Year last year, I mean the fact of the matter is Kawhi won it, because whatever Kawhi went up against a wing, like I enjoy watching Kawhi Leonard play wing defense. That's how good of a wing defender he is. Like his wing defense is so good. When I watched him guarding Draymond Green yesterday, it was amazing how he guarded him. Like, I mean, they just left Draymond. They were disrespecting Draymond Green, honestly, because some of his shots, he was honestly legit sitting there wide open. Like he was the one they wanted taking threes. But Kawhi Leonard is such a good defender. And when you watch him even play against people like LeBron, Kevin Durant, he's so long. His hands are huge. So looking, I think the inches of his hands, his measurements are 11.5, I believe. Yeah, I think it's 11.5. So you look at those kind of things, and I believe that if Steph wasn't balling, I think the only person that possibly would be in the conversation over Kawhi right now would be either a Russell Westbrook. It probably would be Russell Westbrook because I don't think they would put Kevin Durant above him right now, because of the fact that Russell Westbrook's averaging, practically a double-double, and then records play a part in it. I mean, Steph averaged 23 points last season and was the leading vote getter for MVP, and James Harden averaged 28, like 7 and 7. His team was second in the West, I believe, like second or third in the West last year, and he still didn't win it. So at time, I don't believe it all goes into point production, but I mean, Steph's point production and his team leading the West is just such a great, yeah, you know what I mean? And I do believe if Kawhi Leonard left the Spurs, he's the kind of player, he has plays run for, I hear them say this all the time, there are plays run for Kawhi for Kawhi Leonard, but it's intended for the Spurs to score. So even if he wasn't in the San Antonio Spurs system, Kawhi Leonard's so efficient. I believe that if he went to another team, he would still be balling.
But I feel like the
Yeah, he might
make him that efficient.
The system can play, but you can make the same case for Stephen Curry.
Because you got to think of it like
you can make the same case for Steph.
I don't know, but Steph
you can make
wants.
Steph does what he wants, but not every one of his shots. Let's not act like Steph Curry takes all contested shots. They're not all contested shots.
But majority of his shots are.
So yeah, but then the funny thing is when we talk about Stephen Curry, because some of his shots, a lot of those shots, even if they are contested, the shot contest might be a few seconds late. Yeah. Just because of
have enough space.
Yeah, some of his shots are just higher degree difficulty shots, but then some of them are created off of his great ability of his team passing the basketball, him being able to get open off of screens and stuff. I mean, now I'm not going to take away from Steph's greatness of saying that he doesn't create his own shots, but let's not like Kawhi's all open shots too. But Kawhi's hit contested shots. I saw him hit a couple of them against Golden State on Saturday. So if you watch the Spurs regularly, you see Kawhi hits contested shots. He's not hitting the contested threes like Steph, but he hits contested fadeaways. He hit contested layups. He hits a lot of contested shots. Now, not all of them are open. There's no way all your shots are going to be open. Nah. There's no way for that to happen. But I mean, the man's shooting more efficiently than LeBron James right now. And I mean, that's the dude that's like, that man's a running locomotive that just lives in the paint. And when you're shooting a high, and he shoots a high, the thing that gets me about, I was surprised to find this out the other day, that he shoots 88% from the free throw line. I was honestly astonished.
Really?
Yeah, he shoots 88% from the free throw line.
The fact that you was astonished.
Because I remember, I think there was a point, I can't remember which season it was. Let me see. I have it right here.
My man's been going off for the longest.
Because I look at the jump in the percentage though. He shot 80% last season. Then he goes to 88%. Like that's an incredible jump. You go from 80% to 88%. He's gotten better every season. But and the thing is, the reason why I believe Kawhi is the MVP, that is an MVP player, because notice how much better the Spurs have got as Kawhi has gotten. The season they won the championship, Kawhi got considerably better the season before that, from the season before that season. This season now, after the seasons after the championship, he's playing his best basketball, and it just so happens the Spurs are having their best season that they've had in a long time. But
you don't feel like the Warriors got better as Steph Curry's gotten better?
No, but that's what I'm saying. No, I'm saying
after LeBron's gotten better.
No, that's what, and that's my case though. That's my case for Kawhi. Why do we say this stuff for Steph? You're saying it for Steph and LeBron, but you won't say it for Kawhi.
You didn't even say it for Westbrook and stuff.
No,
like that.
But I'm saying, but look at the guys we're listing. They get the respect. Kawhi's not getting the same respect. You keep telling me there's caveats to Kawhi, but you won't tell me there's caveats for a Westbrook. You won't tell me there's caveats
for Westbrook is he plays with Durant. The caveat for LeBron is he won a championships with Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh. The caveats for Steph is he played with Steph Curry, Draymond Green, Andre Iguodala.
Yeah, but you weren't listening to any of those until I just brought up the caveats.
Playing for Pop and playing for LaMarcus Aldridge and Tim Duncan and these are all Hall of Famers I'm naming. Like
they are all older
too.
They're all older. Like Kawhi, like he said, you're right. They're all older. Tim Duncan's not the Tim Duncan that was the Tim Duncan a few years ago. Let's not get it twisted now. I mean, the man came off the bench yesterday and his minutes are considerably limited. I mean, there's a lot of players that play. Tim Duncan averages about 20-something minutes a game. I mean, Greg Popovich does great with his minutes restriction, but just because these guys are names, let's not act like they are the same guys that they were in their prime.
You can say the same with LeBron. The only person who's still the same in the prime was Chris Bosh. Dwayne Wade was not the same Dwayne Wade.
No, Dwayne Wade was not. Dwayne Wade could still put up 20. He can still put up 20.
Tony Parker and Tim Duncan.
What does Tim Duncan average on the season? Dwayne Wade averaged 20 on the season. Dwayne Wade didn't average under 20, and he shot over 50% his whole time with LeBron. Dwayne Wade was hurt.
It's not the same as it's not the same as the Flash. He was not. If you sit here and say he was the same as the Flash,
what are you talking about?
I'm saying LeBron. Look, when LeBron James played with Dwayne Wade, he was not the Flash like he was when he won with Shaq.
He was not. No, he was not that Flash. But Dwayne Wade was still good enough. Dwayne Wade was still a top 15 player. But that team. But Tony Parker
who had a big laugh.
Tony Parker is still a good player, but he's not the Tony Parker that was running. That team is not revolved around Tony Parker anymore. And a few years ago, they were revolved around Tony Parker. Now they're revolved around LaMarcus Aldridge and Kawhi Leonard. They're not revolved around them anymore. Those guys are still there. They're the leadership and the leader.
Dwayne Wade.
Because the difference between that and Dwayne Wade is that team with the pecking order was LeBron, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh. This pecking order is Kawhi, LaMarcus Aldridge, Tony Parker, whoever else. And then after that, it's just a spur. It doesn't even go to Tim Duncan and whoever. It's whoever is hot that night. It doesn't matter. But those guys are the pecking order of the Spurs. While in Miami, you had LeBron, them, and them. And just like in the Golden State, it's Steph, it's Clay, then it's Draymond, or whoever else is hot that night right after that.
So what's the difference?
What do you mean? What's the difference? I just gave you because you're bringing up that he's playing with Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, and these guys, and I'm telling you, and Tim Duncan's not.
You're saying like they're bad players, but I mean,
I didn't say
every player has a decline. You
when did I say they were bad? When did I say they were bad?
Better. You're not giving them their credit. That's what you're really not doing right. You're not really giving them their credit because yeah, they're older. Yeah, they're playing with Kawhi Leonard, but it's not this. You're saying it's not the same. I can say you can sit here and say that's for any team.
So
except the Warriors.
Playing with Tim Duncan was the same as LeBron playing with.
It's more than Tim Duncan on that team. You have Tim Duncan, you have Tony Parker, you have Manu Ginobili, you have Danny Green. You had LeBron, you had Chris Bosh, and you had Dwayne Wade. I'm not gonna put Mario Chalmers in that category. I'm not gonna put Chris Anderson in that category. I'm not gonna put who else was on the team. Who was the point guard coming off the bench for them?
Norris Cole.
I'm not gonna put Norris Cole in that category. I'm not gonna put Michael Beasley when he played in that category. You see what I'm saying? I'm not gonna put those same guys in those same categories.
So what is your argument right now?
I'm saying that you're discrediting that he's like Kawhi Leonard playing with them. Like they're not because they're new players. You're not giving Tim Duncan his credit. You're not giving like Tony Parker really his credit. But I'm saying you can say like well LeBron played with them. It's not really like he like.
But they're not.
I'm saying it's the same thing with LeBron. These players got better. He was like, well, they got better and they made the team better, but look who they play with, in a sense. And you're talking about how declined these guys are, that Kawhi Leonard is not they're playing better because Kawhi Leonard is that much better when I'm trying to make the case for Steph Curry and LeBron James.
But you're making the case that
you said Kawhi Leonard, the Spurs is a lot better because Kawhi Leonard got better, right?
Yes.
And I can say the same with because you're like Tony Parker's not the same Tony Parker. You're saying Tim Duncan not the same Tim Duncan. Manu Ginobili not the same Manu Ginobili. Well, as LeBron got better in his career, even though he played for the Heat, I can still say Dwayne Wade was not still the same player. Chris Bosh, yes. Chris Bosh probably he wasn't even the same as he was in Toronto because he had to do as much. And then those other players, those other role players, was not that good.
Okay. Well, here's the thing about your case. Because when I talk about Kawhi making them better, Kawhi, they have gotten considerably better with Kawhi. And that's the thing I'm saying. My case is not that LeBron did not make that team better, that Steph hasn't made the team better as he's gotten better. I said that beforehand. I said Russell Westbrook was the same way. But I said the reason I'm asking why Kawhi deserves more respect is because before you would list Tim Duncan, these guys, and all this and that, before you would list Kawhi even having an impact. But then when you want to come to LeBron and them, you will say it's them primarily over these other guys. And LeBron didn't win a championship until he played with Dwayne Wade. And Dwayne Wade averaged over 20 each of those seasons. Kawhi's been playing with Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan hasn't averaged over 20 in how many years? And you can say the same for Tony Parker. And the same for Manu.
Who averages 20 on that team, honestly, other than Kawhi Leonard?
Did Tim Duncan even Marcus Aldridge? Marcus Aldridge averaged about 19, 20 points.
20.
That's still, bro. It's so 19.8.
I'm about to pull it up right now.
Pull it up. And Marcus Aldridge still averages. I'd be surprised if Marcus Aldridge averages under 17 points actually. But the fact of the matter is, I mean, LeBron had. But the fact that proves my point.
He averages 17 points per game.
Yeah, I said I'd be surprised he averages under 17.
You play on it was 17.9. But you play on a team that nobody's supposed to average 20.
So then what about Klay Thompson and then Draymond? So what's the case for them? It's the same effect. If you want to talk about, it's the same effect. It's the same system because Steph is the one guy that averages over. Everybody says it. They play them and San Antonio play the exact same way. It's just that they shoot more threes and that San Antonio shoots more twos. That's honestly the difference between the two teams. That they're more efficient at 3-point shooting. San Antonio's the most efficient 2-point shooting team. Golden State's the most efficient 3-point shooting team. That's the difference between these two teams. Everybody talks about their offenses are similar because of the free flow offense they both run. And if you want to talk about that, nobody on Golden State, apart from maybe Steph, I think Klay averages about 18, 19 points a game. I mean, actually, probably averages 20. I think Klay's the one person averages 20, but Klay's in his prime. Other than that, who else averages above? You know what I'm saying? Like, if we're gonna make that case for
That
like we're making
prime.
all these, I'm hearing all these cases you're making to knock down to take away the credit from Kawhi, because this team has gotten better as Kawhi has gotten there, as Kawhi has gotten better. They won their last championship with Kawhi. Before Kawhi, the last championship was 2007, and they've gotten to the finals. They got to the finals back-to-back times as Kawhi Leonard got better. They went to the Western Conference Finals. Well, actually, no, they got knocked out by the Clippers actually in the first round, I believe, last year, but then the year before that, they were the champions. And this year, now they have arguably they're having. If it wasn't for Golden State, we'd be talking about the Spurs having. I mean, the Spurs only have 10 wins. 10 losses on the season.
And they're only 3 games behind them.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They're only three games behind. So the fact that we're like, you're making these cases against Kawhi is my point of how he's not getting respect for his grades. Because even though LeBron had Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, those guys were still some of the top 15. Tim Duncan's not a top 15 player in the league anymore. He's not a top 15 player. Manu Ginobili's not. Tony Parker's amazing. I mean, there's actually a lot of guys I can list that are better than Tony Parker right now. Actually, even point guards that I can list that are better than Tony Parker that even feel that might round out the top 10 actually. So the fact Kawhi Leonard is the only guy on that team right now that I say is even a top 10 that you can argue as a top 5 player, and he could even be better if he was in a system where he was more likely to shoot the ball more. And if a small forward, if we talk about the best small forwards after LeBron James and Kevin Durant, who we listing?
Kawhi.
So I'm listening. You saw a small forward. I listen to Paul George.
Paul George. All right. That's your opinion. I'm just curious. Why Paul George?
As one of the top small forwards?
As top 3 small forwards, why Paul George?
I'm
just curious.
You said LeBron James, Kevin Durant.
Obviously those two are going to be everybody's one and two. But why?
And
why
who
Paul
else do
George?
we have other than Kawhi Leonard and Paul George?
Draymond Green,
He's
Carmelo Anthony.
Better than Kawhi.
Because Carmelo Anthony had a big slack. He's.
But those are other small forwards you can list. There's Paul George, Carmelo Anthony, Kawhi Leonard, Draymond Green. There's other small forwards at least. At least filled with small forwards.
Is he?
I'm just curious why you think Paul George is better than Kawhi Leonard.
I didn't say. I'm just saying you can't think of people to list.
You just told me you would take Paul.
You said you can't say names to list. I never said he was better. I think he's better personally, but I'm not gonna say he's better.
Yeah. So what are you saying, exactly. Bro? You just said it. Yeah. Like, what are you talking
because
about?
I'm biased when it comes to Paul George.
What do you mean?
So that's why I'm saying he's better.
You're biased because he's on your 2K team.
I think he's the best.
What?
I think he's the best 2-way player in the game, honestly.
Paul George, eh?
Paul George.
Man, why do you think he's the best?
Because
Paul George actually his defense has fallen off. Actually,
his defense has fallen off.
So how's he the best?
Don't
don't
you
put him up.
You make it seem like
he is leading the league in defensive efficiency. That's why I'm really curious. I'm really curious right now. Yeah, if a guy's is one of the top players in defensive efficiency and the other guy isn't even in the top 10 for defensive efficiency, I'm really curious. I just want to know.
My man's bone came out his leg.
It's called a comeback. Come back, young fella. The boy's young. Give me something else.
You make it seem like that's not going to affect somebody dropping off.
Dwayne Wade.
Kevin Ware had to transfer school.
Dwayne Wade's knee acted up. His shoulder popped out. His shoulder popped out.
My man's bone was a sword, bro.
It was a sword, but your shoulder becoming a sword is kind of dangerous too, isn't it?
The shoulder wasn't.
And Dwayne Wade still came back and balled. So I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for a reason. I'm waiting for a reason. Give me something.
Well, I told you.
I'm looking at the numbers right now.
I just told you.
I'm looking at numbers right now.
Paul George. I'm biased when it comes to Paul George.
No, without bias. Stop being biased. Stop.
It's got to be objective.
Yeah, exactly. Stop being biased.
Objective, then this year he has not, because this is the second season coming off from that OD injury he had.
Oh my gosh.
I'm just saying. You said you can't name small forwards. So I wanted to tell my man Paul George. Because you discredit my man Paul George.
No, I'm not discrediting Paul George, but we're talking about him and Kawhi Leonard. I'm not discrediting Paul George. I'm just talking about him and Kawhi Leonard. And I'm saying, you see how the lengths you're going to. You see the lengths he's going to bring down Kawhi Leonard. The lengths. Kawhi Leonard, bro. Kawhi, I'm with you, bro. I'm with you because the lengths this man is going to disrespect you as a defender. And as an offensive player, this man shoots better than Paul George in every statistical category.
Because Paul George is by himself, really. You have Monte Ellis, who's not the same.
Bruh. Bruh, just because you're by yourself doesn't mean you shoot inefficiently. Kevin Durant still shoots over 50%. I mean, even without Russell Westbrook, when Russell Westbrook went out, you didn't let me finish. Okay. If you let me finish talking, I would gladly. I was quiet. I sat there. You were quiet. I was quiet. Let you make your case.
Until you heard the blasphemy.
Yeah, until you say blasphemy. I haven't said any bit of blasphemy. I didn't say any bit of blasphemy. That's the thing. You yeah, like I'm sitting here just waiting. You talk. No. I'm quiet the whole time. I sat here and listened to your whole case. We can watch this video playback. I sat there. I was like this. Go back and listen. Go back and watch past videos. I sit there. I listen. I'm just sitting there patient. Khalid, you know what? You're a host on this show too.
Khalid, never forget when I tried to do the top 10 of all time. And my man smooth to let me finish my top 10.
Khalid, what did we say? What did we say the criteria was? Blasphemy? Never forget when I was listening, when we were talking about if Steph Curry was the best shooter. See, he's trying to cut me off now. I just waited for him to finish. And he's cutting me off now. I'm waiting for him.
I don't trying to talk at the same time. Y'all got it.
No, I waited for you. I waited for you to take a breath and everything. I waited. I sat there. I was like this. I was looking at you. Then he stopped, so I tried to take my initiative, and he tried to jump back on me. You see that? Never forget when Rashad, we were listening to if Steph Curry was the best shooter of all time, which we should get to sometime soon again. This man Rashad would not let me make a case for Steph. He just kept saying, no. A commenter even noted it. A commenter. That's when you know it's real. But somebody that's not even involved comments and notes it.
That's funny.
Come on, man. Come on. I didn't get no comments. Ain't nobody. Hey. You know, we talk about me cutting somebody off. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Hey, the proof is in the pudding.
Hey, the proof is in the pudding.
You remember that?
Hey, wait, what?
That's the Stephen A. Smith interview with Mayweather.
Oh, come on, man.
That's respect.
Just give my man Kawhi his respect.
Yeah.
I don't care about my respect. You cut me off all I want. I'm gonna say what I gotta say eventually. You know what I'm saying? Just let Kawhi get his turn. Hey, like Kawhi said, let me finish. Hey, Taylor, I'm gonna let you finish. But Beyonce, hey, Kawhi saying, hey, Rashad, I'm gonna let you finish. But it's like, hey, give me my respect. That's all Kawhi's asking for. That's all Kawhi's asking for.
Is a top 10 player in the league. Let me give you respect. He's a top 10 player in the league. As long as he plays on the Spurs and that team wins a championship, he will always win the Finals MVP. But he would not win the league MVP.
That's to be seen. I would agree with you that, but I can't guarantee somebody's gonna win the MVP because we could say Russell Westbrook was looking like an MVP. A lot of people pick Russell Westbrook before the season to win MVP. Russell Westbrook is a player you would pick to win the MVP, right?
Yeah, I mean,
but he's not.
Russell Westbrook.
They did, but Russell Westbrook's team didn't reflect their success.
I don't think Russell Westbrook will win a championship on the Thunder. I mean,
but do you think he could win? Do you think he could win? So who do you think is more likely to win MVP? Kawhi Leonard or Russell Westbrook?
In the same situation they are now.
Yeah, just the projecting how these players' projections are going. Who do you think is more likely to win MVP? Kawhi Leonard or Russell Westbrook?
I don't know.
I'm voting Kawhi. I'm voting Kawhi. I'm voting Kawhi. This man Rashad is not bumping with Kawhi. He just don't rock with Kawhi.
He does the same thing.
Hey, we are entitled to our opinions.
Westbrook is getting better at the same time.
He is, but it hasn't reflected on his team.
Their team isn't better than the Spurs team.
But I mean, it's just Kawhi doesn't do enough for me. A team full of stars to. I mean, can you look at it?
But maybe it's that team full of stars that makes him do less. That's the reason why he chooses to do less.
I mean, imagine so much more he could do.
With, like Steph Curry, I mean, I'm sure Steph Curry doesn't try to score 30 every night. It's just
Steph Curry also hoists a whole bunch of threes. I mean,
but the whole team.
And he's efficient from three. Yeah. He's efficient from three. So he shoots.
How many threes he put up?
But I mean, both of them are efficient from three.
No, but let's look at the attempts here. Steph attempts 7.1 threes a game
times 3.
Kawhi attempts 2.9.
And see,
actually no. Kawhi attempts 4. Kawhi attempts 4. That was career. My fault.
And this is why I told you back when we made that case. It's easier for Steph Curry to shoot a higher position because it's a lot easier to go 1 for 3. I mean,
it's not.
It is.
No, it's not. It's easier to shoot 50% from 3.
I'm going to say it's easier to go 3 for 10 than it is to go 1 for 3.
No, it's not. You can easily go 1 for. You can easily shoot 1 for 2 and shoot 50%.
That's what I'm saying.
That's easier to shoot 50%.
No, that's just not because it's 33%.
No, you're making a case that Steph's shooting more.
That's not easy.
Yeah, what are you talking about? That's why Steph is the best shooter. Your case to me then was that Steph was not the best shooter because Steph was shooting the most.
It's easier to go 3 for 10 than 1 for 3.
You know that's 30%.
No, it's not. All you gotta do is hit. Yeah. That's a better percentage.
30%.
Yeah, that's a better percentage. What are you talking about?
Shoot 10 shots to get 33%, college.
I know that, but that's still 30%.
But Steph, that's not easy to do. Steph is you can shoot less shots and be way more efficient.
But you know I can go out if I shoot 10 threes.
And you can
I
also
can hit 3, but if I shoot the first 3 threes, I'm more likely missing.
You can also go out and shoot 3 threes, hit all 3, and you shoot 100% for the game. Where Steph might shoot 10.
Versus
so that's way harder to do.
It's not.
It's way harder. Yes, it is. Shooting way more volume shots.
If we bring this case up, I'm still gonna make the same case.
You can make the same case, but
it's
statistically wrong.
It's not statistically
wrong. Yes, it is. Like,
it's a lot easier to hit 3 out of 10.
It's not easy. You take 3 shots, you shoot 1 out of 3, you shoot 33% right there. And if you shoot 3 out of 10, you're already shooting a lesser field goal percentage.
If you're Steph Curry and you shoot 10 shots and you can't hit 3 of them, come on now, you're an NBA player.
No, but that's not the argument. The argument is whether it's easier to shoot a higher percentage from shooting less shots than higher volume of shots. No, it is not.
It is
a higher percentage. You make
a higher volume of shots does not result in it doesn't.
It doesn't.
No, you can shoot less shots. Just like you can shoot 4 free throws, you shoot 100% from free throw line. If somebody shoots 10 free throws and shoots 5 of 10. They're gonna have a 50% free throw. But they hit more free throws than the other guy. Yeah, even though they made more, their free throw percentage is gonna be less. Yeah.
Why are they missing so many? Why can this person miss?
You know what?
Why are they missing so many? Why can the other person? Why the person go for 4?
Okay, hold on. Okay, if they miss one.
No, I'm saying I just gave you a case where they went 1 of 3. What are you talking about?
1 for 3 is easy. It's not easier.
2 of 5 is even better than 3 of 10, and that's double the shots. Shooting more shots is not. What?
I'm saying if Steph Curry shot 3 threes a game, Steph Curry percentage wouldn't be where it is because Curry's not going 3 for 3 every night.
If he shot 3 threes,
I see Steph Curry
because he's trying to get 30 points.
If Steph Curry shot 3 threes, I'm pretty sure they'd probably be higher efficient shot.
What are you talking about in the game?
If he only shot 3,
I mean, if he only shoots threes, I mean, the reason why
he's just not gonna get 30 points. Well, he might.
We might not get 3.
I would love to see this on poll. I do not see how. I mean, we just both statistically gave you reasons of how it's not high.
With you.
No,
he
gave you the 1 of 3. Yeah, he just gave you the 1 of 3, the 3 of 10. He's been saying more stats than I have.
Oh my, no.
I'm just on the truth.
I can go shoot 10 shots and hit 3.
But that's 30%.
And you can also go and shoot 1 of 3.
You can't shoot 33% on shooting 10
of
shots.
Course
That's what
not.
I'm trying to say. So stop saying because it's
but look,
you can shoot 9 shots.
If you would have said
shoot 9 shots.
It is easy to hit 3.
It would have been different if you would have said 8 shots, 4 shots.
Rashad, if you're taking
40% higher than 33, then
Rashad, if you're taking 3,
you only did 3 attempts.
I'm just trying to say.
Go ahead.
I'm just trying to say, if you're in the 30% range, you can only shoot 3 for 10 is a lot easier to hit.
Haven't gone to Richard Sherman yet.
3 for 10.
Go to Richard Sherman.
10 to 10.
Go to Richard Sherman. He's talking about.
No, man, I'm not gonna cut my man Khalid's argument off. No, man, let Khalid go on, man. Khalid, go on. Make a case. Yeah, make a case, Khalid. I want to hear this. Yeah, go ahead.
1 for 3.
Khalid, you go in the gym right now, and I give you 10 shots. You can hit 3 of them, right?
If
I told you hit 3, if I told you shoot 3 shots, you have to hit 1 of them. Is that a lot more pressure?
If I make those first 3 in both of them, in both situations,
what's the chances of hitting the first 3?
I mean, it's the chances
the
same for both of them.
Yeah.
No, it's a lot easier. Going 3 for 3 and 3 for 10.
The only difference is you keep shooting after the first 3.
Exactly. And it's the same for but I'm saying he has a 30 chance. For him to go 1 out of 3 is a 33% chance. For him to go 3 of 10 is a 30% chance. He has a higher statistical percentage to go 1 of 3 than go 30%.
Okay, so if you go 3 for 9, then now it's the same.
It isn't, but that's more. But he still did the same as you on 1 of 3. Rashad, what on earth? Rashad, he still tied your field goal percentage with less shots.
Wait. Are you supporting the case for it's easier to hit 1 for 3?
Yes.
Oh, thank you then. Because I'm showing you that listen to the case now. Listen to the case now. Now, because I actually realize what you're saying now. Listen to the case. This shows that Reggie Miller is better shooter than Steph Curry.
No, it does not.
Because they shoot and they shoot efficient too.
The fact that they shoot,
Steph Curry has a greater chance to get the percentage.
Because he has more efficient.
Are you done?
Wait,
are you done?
No, I'm never done. I'm never done.
Okay, say what you gotta say. Say what you gotta say.
I gotta cut you off.
I'm waiting.
I'm waiting.
So it's like I just said, it's easier to go 1 of 3, right? So Reggie Miller goes 1 of 3. It's easy. But Steph Curry does a harder job, but shoots a better percentage than them.
No,
Yeah.
support Reggie Miller like you're just supporting. No,
What are you talking about?
Support Reggie Miller like you're just supporting.
What is he talking about? I just made the same case.
Support Reggie Miller
him
like you're
going
just
11
supporting.
for
I
14
did.
Don't
in
change
the
it
game.
now.
But the case we make. No, I'm saying it's easier to go 1 or 3, but that's what Reggie Miller did.
Yeah.
When Steph Curry still shoots a higher percentage than him, so Steph's a better shooter.
No, you just
What is
shoot a
your
lot more
point?
shots.
Bro,
What
if
is
you're going
this?
for 14
What is
assists and
this?
making
No,
11
no.
out of
See, now you just trying to jump on my. You trying to, and I flipped it back on you. Now you don't know what to do. You're confused.
Because I do.
Man,
Remember, I was making
man,
the case for Reggie Miller and
Get
people
outta
like
here.
Larry Bird that they're better shooters than Steph Curry.
But they're not
Steph
because
Curry
they
can shoot a
shot
lot
less.
more
They
shots.
don't put as much shots.
They can shoot a lot more shots. Hey,
But
I'm just saying they shoot a lot more shots.
They shoot a
percentage is higher.
yeah. How does he have a higher field goal percentage and 3-point percentage when he shoots more shots? So it's harder for him to hit a higher percentage, and they shoot less. They shoot less. It is easier. No, don't change it now. You just trying to make a case. You just trying to make a case.
Hit 3%.
No, you just trying to jump on the Reggie Miller bandwagon saying that
No,
it's easier to go.
No.
It's
Go back to our best shows.
go back to
shows.
go back
I
to the.
told you Steph Curry wasn't the best shooter.
And you try. But here's the thing.
This is the case I made.
Here's the thing. We just made the case that 1 of 3 was easier, and then you're like, oh, it's easy. You're making the case it's easier, right? It's easier, right? So what about Reggie Miller? Blah, blah, blah. And I just made the case to you that Steph's a better shooter because he does a harder job getting a high 3-point percentage than them two. You just kidding?
Richard Sherman.
Yo,
and Roger Goodell.
See, this what makes it so different because you know what? You just got guys. You got guys that just won't change their minds. That's it. Sometimes you can sway them, sometimes you can't. You know what I'm saying? Even though we statistically have proven
Reggie
our
Miller's
point,
better shooter.
statistically have proven our point. You know what I'm saying? Then hey,
Reggie Miller,
my brother.
Ray Allen,
Numbers don't lie.
Larry
Exactly.
Bird.
The numbers don't lie. Even though they shot less threes and still don't have as high a field goal of 3-point percentage as Steph, I rest my case.
Easier to hit
No, it's not.
when you
It's
shoot
not.
a higher volume of shots.
It's not. It's harder.
Then you can
And
easily go
Steph
0
and
for
Steph
3.
even takes harder shots.
I mean, how
but-
often do you see Steph go 0 for 10?
How often do you see Steph go 1 for 12? Yesterday. How often do you see
How often do
somebody
you
go?
see Reggie Miller go 0
1
for
for
6 in a
3?
game? You've seen that happen before.
How? I mean, it's
Yeah, he never hit a 3.
You said what?
He didn't hit the 3. I'm just saying.
Who?
Reggie Miller. I'm just saying he went over 6 in games. I'm just saying. Just like you said, Steph
And
go 1 for 12.
Steph has obviously gone over something because there's a reason why he has a streak of 138 of consistent threes hit, but that streak definitely didn't continue. There's a reason why the streak started somewhere and didn't end. Steph has played more than 138 games in the league, so
Because
obviously
Steph-
he's gone 3-less in a game.
Yeah.
So
What does hitting
there's your
1-3
case.
gotta do?
There's your point.
What
So what was your
What
point?
does hitting 1-3 got to do with you being the best shooter?
You just
I can go.
every single time you make a case, I
can
flip
go-
it back on you. Then
I
you
can
try to
go
go you try to go on some
I can-
subway
I
network
can
to
go
Some
shoot
subway
a
network.
3 in a game and have a streak going.
No,
I
man.
just keep jacking.
No, but your case was
That's crazy.
That's what Steph did.
You just try to make the
That's
case.
crazy.
You just try to make
That's
the
what
case.
ruin you.
You just try to make the case saying that
I'll
Steph.
shoot every shot at 3-pointer to make sure I keep the streak going. I'm cutting you off.
Bro, you're gonna
I'll cut
hurt
you off.
your 3-point percentage.
So it's a streak. Keep the streak alive.
You just try to make the case that Steph, because Steph could go. He's too so many threes that he can go 1 of whatever. But I just made a case that he's obviously missed all his 3-point
This is
attempts
not the
at one
topic of
point.
the day. This is
And
a topic
then-
for another time. Brings up Leonard.
I don't know.
This is Steph Curry.
I'm just
I don't know.
I'm just saying we just had to bring it up because you wanted to come for my man Kawhi Leonard and his 3-point percentage. I'm just saying Kawhi, I got respect,
But I'm
bro.
just saying
I give you
he's
love.
about to go 50, 40, and 90. Steph is not Kawhi.
Okay.
50, 40, and 90.
Okay.
50 from the field, 40 from 3-pointer, 90 from free throw line.
Kawhi's right there. I mean,
Yeah, he's 80.
shooting a higher percentage than
He
Steph.
doesn't have it right now. I mean, he doesn't have those. He doesn't have those right now. Yeah, he's not talking about Steph Kawhi Leonard doing it. It's Steph Curry doing it.
They are,
It's only because he's scoring more.
It's not nothing.
nah, it's because his field goal
Yeah,
percentage.
that's true too.
All right. So going on to the last topic of the day.